MMA community and my fellow YouTubers, this is Joe Dog coming back last minute video. Wasn't expecting to make this after my prediction video today, but I got a lot of people asking me about a couple of last minute replacement fill-ins for the card coming up this Saturday. All right, here's the thing, okay? There's going to be a lot of people trying to say that, there's going to be some disadvantages for Paul Felder, who's going to be filling in for Islam Makhachev, who got sick and had to pull out on the Dos Anjos fight. Main event, 5-round fight. They're going to say this guy not only is he a last minute replacement and he only had 5 days to cut weight, which means he's going to be having a rough weight cut, and it's going to make him come into the fight dehydrated and flushed, and he's going to be at a disadvantage in cardio, and he's just going to not be able to be as durable, and he's not going to be able to take hits as well and have as good of a cardio as he would have. Well, let me just let you guys know this right now, okay? All that stuff, and I hope that the odd makers are going to get it wrong as well, because that's going to be the new thing on the block, where everybody's going to be trying to talk about how there's going to be, it's like insider scoop. They're going to say that everybody should bet their money against Felder, and how that this is going to be a difficult task for him. Let me tell you guys right now, Felder, if you guys know anything about him, his new gig is commentating, and his other second job is a triathlete. And the main purpose he even got into being a triathlete, triathletes are guys who are all year round involved in rigorous type of activities such as swimming and bicycling and running, marathons and stuff like that. So all year round, this guy's working on his cardio. He can right now you can wake him out of his bed at midnight and say, hey, go run me 10 miles or go swim to Alcatraz like the Diaz brothers used to, and he'll do it better than anybody can. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is a fact. And take it from somebody who used to do weight cuts. I know how weight cuts are. If you're not anybody else on the roster right now who would have had to do a 5-round fight on 5 days notice against a machine like Dos Anjos, I'd count them out all day long too. Like the God makers are probably, the odds are going to probably be crazy in advantage, so lopsided against Felder, that on a regular like 4-week camp or 8-week camp even, let's say, they would have made it pick'ems, and Felder might have even been a favorite against Dos Anjos, especially after his showcase split decision loss against Dan the Hangman Hooker. That showcase he put on his last fight was such an amazing fight that a lot of people said he even beat me, myself included. I might have given him the slight notch. It was such a close fight that I think it should have been a draw, but maybe because he's got 1 foot out the door, a marketing advantage was towards giving the Hangman Hooker the slight notch to give him the victory, because they could promote his fights much more better if he didn't lose or get a draw against somebody who's halfway retired already. So I think if it wasn't for him talking about the retirement, he probably could have even gotten a win that day. But anyways, he gave a hell of a show. He showed that he's a beast on the feet, on the ground. He's a danger everywhere. This guy's a well-rounded fighter, but being that he's a triathlete, if you looked at any of his interviews, this guy specifically said, I'm only doing this because I want to be the guy who can fill in last minute if anybody drops out of a fight. He was begging, and he was clawing. He was the first guy to raise his hand, saying that if anybody drops out of the Khabib fight, why is Chandler's name brought up and not mine? I'm a company man. I've been here in the organization way before him. I should be the guy filling in for Khabib, and I was at the same weight class, 155. So he was throwing his hands in the air before anybody else to fight Khabib last minute. Why do you guys assume that it's going to be a problem to fight Dos Anjos, who Khabib smashed in their last showdown at 155, by the way? So if there's literally not one single person in the entire roster who could be more prepared on such short notice than Paul Felder, who's the only guy on the roster who's also a triathlete. The guy's in the best shape of his life right now. He's better shape right now as that he's retired and commentating than he was when he was a fighter. So his cardio coming into this fight will be better than his fights that he was preparing for in a long full camp. So if the odds are messed up here and they're going to put him as a huge underdog, we're going to take advantage of that, because he should not be the underdog based off of those merits. That's not the reasons why you should be an underdog, and I can't find any other reasons why you should be an underdog. This guy's going to come to put on a show, and he knows, especially when he's at this stage of his career where he's not going to be taking a run at the championship, he's going to give 110% on every fight he's in. We're going to see the best Felder we've ever seen. So anyways, that's a guy I want to talk about. The other fight that people wanted to ask me about is the new last minute fight with Strickland and Brendan Allen. I haven't got a chance to see what the odds are yet. I don't even think they're out yet, but I'm going to have to side with Strickland on this, especially because of his last showcase. He didn't get hurt. He did a great performance. Everybody was questioning whether or not he was going to be in the best space mentally because he was in a motorcycle accident. Well, I've been in a couple of those myself, and I'm going to tell you right now, sometimes bad things happen to good people for good reason, and in his case, that might have made him the fighter he is today, because I've seen improvements in his last thing. So whatever happened to him, those injuries, those disadvantages that people thought he was going to come into the fight with, in my opinion, they turned him into a better fighter. So he must have gone through some physical therapy or something, and just something changed in him, and I think I see a more new and improved. And this is a guy who's already had an impressive resume before that layoff that he took to heal over some injuries. So the way he fought in his last fight, if he can come in and show up the same way, same style, and keep it on the feet, he's not gonna, every time the way I'm gonna see this fight going is every time Brendan Allen tries to close the distance and go for takedowns, he's gonna be able to defend and punish him. And Allen's been shown that once he's not like the Khabib style of chain wrestling. If he can't take you down a few times, he'll give up and try to stand up with you. And if he's going to do the stand up with Strickland's going to pick him apart, tear him apart. I can see a finish possibly, if not a unanimous decision in the favor of Strickland. So I got Strickland against Allen. And if you're going to give me some crazy odds as underdog for Felder, because of the situation that he's coming in as a 5-day notice replacement, I'm putting some money on Felder for sure, especially because Dos Anjos is cutting weight himself. He's naturally supposed to be at 170. He was the welterweight champion for a reason, because it wasn't easy for him. How many fights did he have to miss because of weight issue problems? Him and the Conor McGregor fight didn't pan out at 155. There was a lot of reasons. He got injured because he's not healthy at 155. Dos Anjos is not his best at 155. So yeah, to me, that is going to be an even thing. He's going to have more issues at 155 as far as weight cutting than Felder would even have, because as I said, he's prepared all year round. He's a triathlete. He stays in good shape, and he's going to be coming in with making that weight cut no problem. As I said, he knows that this is his job. There's only two things he does now is commentating and waiting for last minute replacement fights to fill in for. All right, you guys got it from here. I just wanted to give you the courtesy. If you're following me, you got your reminders, and I wanted to give you guys the notice before you made your bets, and was fooled by the things that are going to start going around the social media and the rumors that are going to go around about how he's not going to be capable of making that weight, or at least not be healthy if he does make the weight. So that's all bull crap. You heard it from me. All right, guys, thank you for your time. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow me, and join the Patreon. Thanks.